everybody, and welcome back to the channel. We are still on the road to 100 subscribers, so if you want to help me out, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Alright, today we are spoiling The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 14, and this should be a good one. Last episode, we got a whole episode devoted to Michonne, and this time we're picking back up where Alpha's death had left off, so let's see what's going on. I'm Mr. Hanson, and this is Spoiler Alert. We start off in a flashback, and we get a look at the deal made between Carol and Negan. Carol goes to Negan, proposes an offer that he goes and kills Alpha, and in return, she will convince the group to accept Negan as one of their own. Negan agrees to this deal, and we all know how this plays out from there. We pick back up in real time with Negan and Carol. Negan is ready to head back to Alexandria and let everyone know what he had done for them. Carol says she's not going back to Alexandria though, that Negan had taken too long, and too much bad stuff had happened, and the people of Alexandria will not accept her anymore, that it was just too late. She just wants to be left alone to clear her head before deciding what's next for her, and she just walks away. She wouldn't be spending this time alone though. The ghost of Alpha shows up and taunts Carol as she makes her way through the woods. Alpha keeps bringing up all the bad things that had happened to Carol and all the people that had been killed while they were around Carol. Carol and Alpha come up to an old cabin, and I think it must be one of Daryl's old campsites. Carol enters the cabin and begins searching for something as Alpha continues to remind Carol of her past. Carol's trying to pull something from the rafters at the top of the shed, and then the ceiling collapses, pinning Carol to the ground. When the scene comes back, it's daytime, so it would appear that Carol had been stuck all night long. Alpha is explaining to Carol that this is her time to die, and that it's for the best, before she causes other people to die. Just then, a walker appears and starts moving towards Carol. Alpha tells Carol that it's too late for anyone to come save her, and that this is the end for her. But just at the last second, Carol is able to muster up the strength and free herself, and kick the walker away from her. She gets up to her feet and kills the walker off. She falls back to the ground and tells Alpha that it's never too late. This realization causes Alpha to disappear, and Carol decides that she needs to go back to Alexandria, that it's never too late for a fresh start, and that is her home. So she heads back and is accepted at the gate by Daryl. They didn't speak, but at least she's home. Okay, so the age-old question has been answered. Who let the dogs out? Turns out it was Carol. Carol had let the dogs out. She let Negan out, and Negan went out there and he handled it and he killed Alpha, so that's great. I knew at least that Negan was on our side and he was going to kill Alpha, but he just wanted to get a little nookie first and then he killed her, so that is awesome. But Carol thinks that it's too late and there is no redemption for her, so she goes off on this journey and she gets these whole little weird things with Alpha there, and she's basically just in this battle with herself, and she comes out on top and decides, you know what? I can be redeemed. It's not too late, and she heads back to Alexandria, so that's awesome, but let's keep it going. Negan is left standing with no direction to go after Carol walked away from him. He decided to go get Lydia back, but when he gets there, she's gone. But Daryl is there, and Daryl demands to know where Alpha is, and Negan tells Daryl that he killed her. He presents Daryl with Alpha's mask, but Daryl says that's not enough to prove it, so Negan decides to take Daryl to the spot where Alpha's head was on a spike, and the two head off. On the trip over, Negan says he understands he is mad Carol left him out of the loop, but Daryl lets Negan know he is mad because he blames him for what happened at Hilltop. When the two reach the spot, the head is gone, further making Daryl believe that Negan was lying, and Daryl goes to kill Negan again, but some whisperers show up with shotguns. Daryl drops his weapons, but the Whispers are not there to kill Negan. They say that since he killed Alpha, that he is now the new Alpha. Negan plays along and gets one of the skins to give him his shotgun. Negan tells Daryl to bow down before him, and when Daryl does, Negan shoots one of the skins, and he and Daryl kill off the other two. Daryl and Negan stay there and wait to see if Carol is going to come back. They even shared some water, so I think this may be becoming best friends now. After a bit, Carol does not show up, and the two head back to Alexandria. Unfortunately, we don't get to see them arrive and see what everyone's reaction is to Negan being there, but hey, maybe next episode. So, Do I sense a little bromance in the making here? Sure does look like it. That'd be a pretty dope bromance too. I mean, Daryl and Negan working together, same side. I mean, he's not going to replace Rick, but it should still set up for some awesomeness in some future episodes. So that was really, really cool to see them working together. First, they started off, and Daryl didn't trust Negan, but when it came down to it, Negan saved Daryl. So now Negan is on the good side, and now Daryl can take him back to Alexandria and explain to everybody that he is now one of us, and hopefully, I'm hoping that everybody's just going to accept that, let the past be the past, and let's move forward. But anyways, there's still more going on in this episode, so let's keep it rolling. Eugene is off to meet his radio girlfriend, and Miko and Ezekiel head off with him. While on their trip, they cross a weird trap with some walkers in a cage. They don't really know what to make of it, because it's not something the Whisperers would do, and none of them did it, so there must be somebody else here. They decide to separate and investigate the area. Ezekiel is approached by some walkers, and he has a real hard time fighting them off, showing us yet again that his health issues are imminent. He is able to fight them off, though, with his last bit of strength. They also stop for the night, and it turns out that Ezekiel's horse had been bitten, and Ezekiel has to put him down. He becomes emotional and scared and says he shouldn't have come, that he's going to get them hurt. Miko reminds him that he is the one who raised a kingdom in an apocalypse, and this boosts his confidence back up. The next day, they head into a large city, and while walking through the city, they come across a woman with bright colored hair and an assault rifle. The woman seems happy to see them as she screams,
"Oh my God, hi!"
and the crew just stands there, all dumbfounded. We don't learn anything about the woman or if this is Stephanie, so maybe next episode. Anyways, Beta found Alpha's head and was having a hard time dealing with her death. He even fed one of the guys he was with to Alpha's zombie head. Beta takes off on a long walk and comes to an old abandoned city. He goes into a house. It turns out this was Beta's house before the breakout. We learn that Beta used to be a rock star and that his name was Half Moon. He has posters of himself all over the walls. He even lets us hear some of his music that he plays on full blast, attracting walkers to come to his home. He then heads out to the balcony and takes a look at the crowd of walkers that surrounded his house. He seemed very pleased with himself, like he was back on stage again. He then goes inside and has an emotional moment with Alpha's head. He thanks her for everything, and then he puts her to rest. It was actually kind of a sad moment. He then heads outside and blends himself into the walkers and starts leading his horde. This is how the episode ended. Beta is pissed and he is coming for revenge, and it looks like that it's going to be pretty awesome. Okay, so again, they are toying with Ezekiel's death being imminent, that it's coming, we are at it, and it is going to happen this season. They have given him a farewell tour for this whole second half of the season at least, and in this episode, he actually had a moment with Jerry where they actually said their goodbyes to each other, so it doesn't look like Ezekiel is going to make it back from this trip that they went on where they discovered this new woman, and it doesn't look to be Stephanie if I'm just going off of like what Stephanie sounded like on the radio and what this woman sounded like, but I don't know. Looks like we're going to meet a new crew, and they look very interesting, so it will be interesting to see how this plays out. And then you have Beta. Okay, now I will admit, I said I did not want to see Beta take over the Whisperers and be the leader and go for revenge, but after seeing it start to unfold, I think it looks awesome, and I'm looking forward to it. Beta is a legit badass, so I do think that he's going to be a lot better villain than Alpha was. I think it's just Alpha I didn't like. I don't know what it was, but something just rubbed me the wrong way about her, and I'm actually liking seeing Beta take over this role, so it's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do, but we are going to have to wait until the next episode to find out what's really going on and what his plan is going to be. So that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for coming out and checking out the video. I do hope that you will subscribe because, like I said, we are trying to get to 100, and I'm hoping that we can get there. Maybe in the next month or two. That would be awesome. If not, that's cool too. We're going to keep on making these videos, and we're going to keep on doing it. Alright? So, The Walking Dead, Season 10, Episode 14. You've officially been spoiled. So till next time, peace.